Now, we saw this newspaper floating along in the water. It says thousands flooded, and that situation is not going to change anytime soon. On page 1 of La Louisiane, the biggest change, only after I started asking questions. We are the, quote, liars he's referring to. However, these emails are Captain Clay Higgins' emails given to us by the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office. We're also making these available to you online this evening.
I can tell you the exact amount. I've made some payments, but I haven't paid the entire $70,000.
So you've paid some of the $70,000, but you can't tell us how much of that $70,000 you've paid back.
Sitting right here without looking? No, I can't.
Angel has had the most name recognition through this race because of his run for governor just a few months ago. And Captain Clay Higgins, a very familiar face because of his Crime Stoppers videos in St. Landry Parish, both very outspoken. They've taken a few jabs at each other. Do you have any remorse for killing Brad Wedlock? Now, take a look at this viewer-submitted video from a neighbor capturing how intense those flames are. Earlier, we spoke with Alton Trahan of the Lafayette Fire Department. Hundreds of protesters have been gathered outside of Triple S Food Mart here in Baton Rouge, where Alton Sterling was fatally shot by Baton Rouge police. Now, these protesters, they're seeking justice and want answers. To read Coach Hudd's full statement, visit our website, KLAF.com. We also want you to join the conversation. Visit our social media pages. Let us know what you think of the Cajuns video. Reporting live in Lafayette, I'm Chris Welty for Acadiana's KLAF News. Did you ever imagine that something like this could happen here in Acadiana in Lafayette? And we were just listening to Governor John Bel Edwards and law enforcement from across the state gathering in Baton Rouge, holding a press conference at the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. Now, Colonel Mike Edmondson of Louisiana State Police said the shots rang out around 8:40 a.m. on Airline Highway near Goodwood. 6 officers were shot, 3 deputies from the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Department and 3 Baton Rouge police officers. Now, 2 Baton Rouge police officers died, including 1 East Baton Rouge Sheriff deputy. So in all, 3 officers are dead after an attack in Baton Rouge early this morning. We're following breaking news tonight out of Youngsville, where police are searching for a missing 6-year-old with autism. Police Chief Ricky Boudreaux says Keaton Jones went missing around 11:30 this morning in the Fortune Hills subdivision in Youngsville. The child is wearing green underwear and got out through an unlocked front door. Police are canvassing the area on foot, by car, and they're even using a helicopter tonight. We have team coverage. Our KLAS Philip Boudreaux has been following the story and is live in the neighborhood all afternoon with search parties. Phil, what's the latest information you have? 1 year ago today, shots rang out at the Grand 16 in Lafayette. We understand the difficulty of talking about that horrific event of that night. Many of the victims and their families left Acadiana this weekend, still coping from the events that unfolded. On July 23, 2015, shots rang out 20 minutes into the 7:10 showing of the comedy Trainwreck. 24 people were inside that theater. Well, this issue covers both the fall 2016 and winter 2017, when typically the magazine just covers one semester. On page 1 of La Louisiane, the biggest change, only after I started asking questions. It's an investigation you'll see only on Acadiana's KLAF News. Since our investigation aired in November, UL Lafayette has removed any publishing promises from its magazine, La Louisiane, and its website. The magazine began in 1989, and for more than 25 years, La Louisiane promised to publish twice a year. Including this issue, La Louisiane has been published a total of 45 times, but during our investigation, we found 12 issues were actually never printed. Each student pays a fee of $250 per semester, collectively adding up to more than $75,000 a year. University attorney Robin McGee says self-assessed fees only cover a portion of the cost to produce La Louisiane. If the magazine isn't printed one semester, the collected fees remain in the La Louisiane account and are used for production of the next issue the following semester. The kicker, the editor of La Louisiane, Kathleen Thames, is paid more than $76,000 a year, and nearly 12% of her entire salary is paid for from La Louisiane student fees. That's according to her director, Aaron Martin. Back in November, some students called for Thames to lose her job, saying she should be held accountable for her role in printing the magazine regularly. Despite their plea, Thames still has her job. Kathleen Thames says the Office of Communications and Marketing is working on the next issue of La Louisiane. I also reached out to the University of Louisiana system, which oversees UL. They were unaware of our investigation. To see our full story, visit our website, KLEF.com. Live in the studio, Chris Welty, Acadiana's KLEF News. Hundreds of protesters have been gathered outside a Triple S Food Mart here in Baton Rouge, where Alton Sterling was fatally shot by Baton Rouge police. Now, these protesters, they're seeking justice and want answers. Crime scene tape still litters the parking lot at Triple S Food Mart in Baton Rouge, where 37-year-old Alton Sterling was fatally shot by Baton Rouge police.
We're not gonna break the law like the police. We're gonna follow.
Dozens of protesters coming together with one goal.
We want justice.
For much of the day Wednesday, the community marched along North Foster Drive, waving signs, chanting Black Lives Matter, hoping for peace after what some call a horrific incident.
I'll make a cry for justice. America, I'll make a cry for justice, because we cannot continue like this, and we cannot live like this, and we cannot die like this.
While the majority of the protests remained peaceful, some started yelling profanities at the police and blocked traffic, holding the crime scene tape.
The community is upset. They're outraged. They're angry.
The vigil continues to grow for Alton. Mourners placed flowers and balloons where he died. One person signing the table saying, R.I.P. God got you.
I don't care if you're blue, purple, yellow, red, or green. Your life matters.
As those who knew Alton rallied together, they're hoping the power of song will help heal and mend this community rocked by yet another officer-involved shooting. Tonight at 6, a candlelight vigil is planned here at Triple S Food Mart, and then the protesters plan to march to an area police precinct. Reporting live in Baton Rouge, I'm Chris Welty for Acadiana's KLEF News. An emotional day at the Lafayette Parish Courthouse as Joseph Dakota Ritchie was in court yet again, going before Judge Rubin this morning. His family members were in court, and he could be seen mouthing the words, I love you, to his mother. His mom saying to other family members, quote, they're always going to paint him out to be a villain, end quote. His mom went on to say, this is an emotional time for all those involved. As Ritchie was going to the courthouse and then back to jail, I caught up with him, and it's an interview you'll see only on News 15.
Joseph, is there anything you'd like to say to the Wedlock family?
As Joseph Dakota Ritchie walked into the Lafayette Parish Courthouse, he tried hiding behind other inmates and avoided my questions.
Joseph, any comment?
Inside the courtroom, Ritchie a bit more talkative, speaking with other inmates and trying to talk with family members. On Monday, the state filed a motion to revoke Ritchie's bond. Assistant District Attorney Cynthia Seymour said, quote, the defendant doesn't understand the severity of driving while intoxicated, despite someone dying from an accident.
Were you driving intoxicated on April 3rd?
No, I was not.
You weren't?
No. Toxicology report was clean, and I blew a 000.
Back up.
Assistant District Attorney Seymour says Ritchie was intoxicated not once, but 3 times, including the crash that killed Brad Wedlock. Each of those instances, synthetic marijuana was found in Ritchie's system.
We're told that you had synthetic marijuana in your system?
How was that proven, sir?
Despite the allegations, Ritchie is maintaining his innocence. Ritchie's attorney arguing he has the right to bond, proposing GPS monitoring with the curfew, and he would have to live in Scott with his mom. ADA Seymour quickly firing back, saying Ritchie, quote, disregards the law and does not respect the court system.
Do you have any remorse for killing Brad Wedlock?
Yes, it haunts me every day.
Ritchie continued speaking out before he was brought back to his cell.
Prayers are with the family. I can't imagine what the mother is going through. I have a child of my own, and all I can say is that I'm sorry. I hope they have grief and peace.
And Joseph Dakota Ritchie is due back in court on November 16th for a pretrial hearing. Reporting in Lafayette, Chris Welty, News 15, focused on family and the community. Danielle, we're at Outback Steakhouse on Pinhook Road, and Outback literally is down under right now. the Vermilion River, if you take a look over this way, that's the Vermilion River. It's overflowed its banks. You may see that boat in the distance. Now, we talked to Lafayette Police earlier today. They say that boat was tied to the dock, but it has since broke loose. The boat is wedged in between some trees over there right by the Pinhook Bridge. But take a look over here. This is the Fairfield Inn and Suites. You can see that there's several cars parked back there, completely flooded in. We're told that they did rescue those people that were staying in the hotel earlier today. They have been since evacuated. Those cars definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. Every once in a while we'll hear one of the car alarms go off. And Phil, let's take a little walk down this way. Now, the Vermilion River, it has expanded not only from Outback, but all the way into this office building right here and really down to Chili's. That's pretty much how much the Vermilion River has overflown its banks and just flooded this whole area. Now, we have seen motorists out here taking pictures, slowing down on Pinhook. We've seen several near misses. So make sure that you're staying off the roads right now. It's definitely not safe to travel, and better yet, slowing down on Pinhook Road. Other cars may not see you stopping. You could easily get into an accident. Be very safe out there. Stay home, stay dry. And we're going to get back in the car in a second, and we'll take you to one of the other neighborhoods in this area affected by the Vermilion River. We're told that some homes right behind Blue Dog have nearly 4 feet of water inside. Reporting live in Lafayette, I'm Chris Welty for Acadiana's KLEF News.